Welcome to the Midnight Library. I see you found your way here, despite the hour. Tell me, what time is it where you are? And where are you listening from?
They say when you meet the right person, you just know. For me, it started with a message from someone named Eli. We matched on a dating app. His profile was simple. Black and white photos, a quote from a Murakami novel, and one line that said, "Looking for something real." It was refreshing. We talked for 2 weeks, every day. Long texts, late-night voice notes. He remembered little things I told him. Favorite books, my dream to travel to Portugal. When he asked me to meet in person, I didn't hesitate. The plan was to meet at a speakeasy-style jazz bar downtown. He said it was his favorite. The bar was like stepping into a different era. Dimly lit with amber sconces, velvet curtains, and a saxophone humming softly in the background. The walls were lined with black and white photographs of jazz legends, and the air smelled faintly of aged whiskey and something floral, maybe old perfume. When I arrived, he was already there. He stood out. Eli had this old soul look, deep-set hazel eyes that seemed to glow under the warm bar lights, sharp cheekbones, a strong jawline, and neatly styled dark brown hair. He wore a navy wool coat with a high collar and a vintage watch that peeked from beneath his sleeve. He looked like someone from another time. He smiled the second he saw me. "Mia?" he asked. His voice was warm, confident, not creepy, not overbearing, just right. He pulled out a chair for me, and before I could sit, he reached into his coat and handed me a book, a vintage copy of The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, the exact edition I had once mentioned during our chat. I was stunned. We ordered drinks. He chose a glass of red wine. I got an old-fashioned. He made me laugh with old literary jokes and stories about his quiet life. He was attentive, never looking at his phone, just present. That night felt like magic. It felt like falling into a story I didn't want to end. Halfway through the date, Eli excused himself to use the restroom. I waited, sipping my wine, replaying the way he had touched my hand earlier. 10 minutes passed, then 20, then 30. I got worried. I asked the bartender if he had seen him. "Who?" he said. "The guy I was with?" I gestured at our table. The bartender frowned. "Miss, you came in alone." I laughed, thinking it was a joke. "No, we were sitting right there. He even left his coat. But the coat was gone, so was his glass. It was like he'd never been there." I checked my phone. The chat with Eli? Gone. His profile? Deleted. I thought maybe my app was glitching. I ran to the restroom. Empty. Panic crawled up my throat. I asked the manager to check the security footage. That's when things turned truly disturbing. The footage showed me entering the bar, sitting at the table, talking, laughing. But I was alone. I told the police. They checked the footage, interviewed staff. They were polite, but it was clear they thought I was imagining things. Maybe drunk, maybe lonely, but I knew what I felt. I knew he was real. Then I remembered the book, the vintage bell jar he gave me. It was still in my purse. I opened it. Inside the cover was a handwritten note. To M, "Thanks for the lovely evening. Eli, 1982. My blood turned cold. 1982? I Googled everything I could about the bar. About a man named Eli. I didn't even know his last name. Eventually, after hours of digging, I found it. A newspaper scan. A man named Elijah M. Porter, found dead in 1982. Killed during a blind date gone wrong at that same bar. Same face, same smile. I didn't sleep that night. I kept the book beside me, trying to rationalize. Ghosts aren't real, right? But then, my phone buzzed. A text. No name. No number. Just one message. Thank you for remembering me. I never got to say goodbye.
Another chapter closed. Leave the candle lit in the comments and tell us what part of the story stayed with you.